We don't, this payroll on demand have it's nothing that I have heard
Not a thing.
anyone
Yeah.
use in Sweden. And I think it could be that even if we are small countries in the Nordics, we have big differences between the countries, but similar is that we have very good structure with when you got paid and when you should pay your bills. And if you don't pay your bills in time, it will be, it will go to the statutory, you can deduct from your salary. So we have a good system for this.
Managing a global team is complex, but Deel makes it simpler with payroll, HR, IT, and compliance all in one place. That's why over 35,000 businesses trust Deel to hire, pay, and manage their teams worldwide. See how Deel works at deel.com/nickday. That's DEEL.com/NICKDAY. Deel, your forever people platform. Hello and welcome back to the Payroll Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Nick Day. I'm CEO at JGA Recruitment Group, and we are specialist global payroll recruiters. And today we have a global guest with us on the show. We have the pleasure of inviting Anna Hammarkvist, CEO at Amesto AccountHouse, which are a leading business solutions company specializing in accounting, payroll, and technology services, to today's show. And I'm really excited because we're going to be exploring Anna's journey into payroll, the evolution of the payroll profession from somewhere outside of the UK or US shores. That's going to include some leadership insights, some industry challenges, and of course, I want to find out her vision for the future of payroll as well. Now, for those not familiar, Anna brings over 2 decades of payroll expertise to the show today. She was recognized as the Global Payroll Manager of the Year in 2017, and she also serves as a board member of SRF Consultana as well. So we're in really strong hands, and I'm excited to talk about payroll in another part of the world as well. All payroll people, very welcome to today's show. And if you're new to the show today, please do remember to press subscribe, to press follow, but most importantly, share this episode or other episodes as well with all of your payroll colleagues and friends so that together we can really raise the profile of this wonderful industry worldwide. So Anna, welcome to the Payroll Podcast. How are you feeling?
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Oh, I'm excited. I am looking forward to speak with you and to dive into payroll.
I'm
This,
excited too.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
it's not your first rodeo because, of course, I came across you having heard you on another podcast by my good friend Mel Pizzi, who I've worked with myself and known for many, many years. And I thought, I must get Anna on today's show as well to bring some of your expertise to our audience. So before we dive into that, let me ask you my first question. What does the word payroll mean to you?
Oh, that's it's not easy to answer that. I can say that I started working with payroll 30 years ago, and like so many others, I was purely by chance that it became my profession. So never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that I would be where I am today, as leading a payroll business and pretty large company in Sweden, and also be a board member. Because for me, from the start, payroll was being paid each month. And when I just, jumped into this fantastic work, it was a new world opening for me with so many opportunities, and it still are. So for
Well, I
me,
think
it's yeah.
that's one of the things I found really exciting and why I was so interested in bringing you to today's show, because we have so many listeners who have started or will say they fell into payroll. And I'm still trying to say own the choice, but they fell into payroll, they work in payroll. And they don't necessarily realize that you can take this as far as you wish to go. And obviously, you are now a CEO of your own business. You've worked you all the way through the process. You've worked at a really executive level, but of course, you started in the humble world of humble beginnings in the world of payroll, but you've made it to the top and are now leading a payroll solutions company. And I love the fact that anything is possible in this profession. So tell me a little bit about your journey then. How did you start and how have you made that transition through to CEO?
Mm. Oh, it's a long story actually, but how I started was actually I was a receptionist for 8 years, and then after my last maternal leave, I worked on a driving school as a receptionist. And when I just was about to come back after my second maternal leave, they decided to close the driving school. Okay, congratulations. We had a big house, we had two small children, and well, not that good economy at that time. And I saw this opportunity to start on the payroll administrative apartment. Okay, and I had the job, and I didn't know anything about it. And I'm, I have not so much patience. I'm as a person, I've always been extremely curious and eager to explore new things. So after a while, I felt that this is. I learned the profession pretty good because I had the. I had the opportunity to work together with the grand old ladies, that really could count all formulas and everything behind the system. So I really learned payroll from this base.
Yeah.
And that was valuable. I think more valuable than I couldn't believe at that time, because I have an understanding for what you should do more effective and what to put into HI now. But at that time, just to put into systems, digital functions instead of manual work.
Sure.
I need to build up business. So after 2 years, I moved over to a new business in outsourcing, and outsourcing there. I have stayed in outsourcing since then, because it's so many things that you can learn and you can do business, and I really like that. So that was the start of my career, and I moved on from being an administrative payroll consultant to being an outsourcing payroll consultant, and I could support the salesmen and with all these processes with new clients, and you really learn a lot about different businesses and how to pricing and agreements and all things like that. And then I moved on to being a team manager and lead my own team. And then I became process manager for the whole chain. This small business grow a lot, and I felt that I want to be in the small business again, in a family business. So I started from the beginning in another family business, and that one also grew. And when it grew, I had the opportunity to. Actually, I had the question to be CEO in a startup company, and I was a bit shocked and honored, and I felt like, but I want to give it a try. Maybe I can handle that, because I know the business. I know how it works. And during 3 years, I had that company to actually have a fast growth. And then I have the opportunity to start in Amesto in a CEO position, where I am today. And I have trusted my skills all the time. And I think why I have succeeded in my position is because I know what everyone does in the business, in my organization. I understand how it is to be a consultant. I understand how it is to be a team manager and a business area manager. And that is so helpful for me, because so I think it's the key.
You've also had to show a lot of bravery there as well, because you kind of backed yourself, as you said. You had to be brave and lean into those decisions. It must have been quite nerve-wracking moving out of, I guess, the comfort zone and into being comfortable in the uncomfortable, and seeing yourself progress there. So, credit to you. There must have been a moment where you went, "No, I can do this." It must have been an interesting time.
Yes, it's challenging, and I'm not successing every day is not a success.
Sure.
So it's absolutely some nights I dream the work, and that you have to find this really work-life balance also, and to find days where you just check out and do something else. But absolutely a big portion of braveness, and to be a bit like Pippi Longstocking.
Yeah.
As this, I never done this before, so I think I can do it. So
Sounds like well, it looks like you've done it incredibly well. I mean, you've now been in the payroll industry for over 20 years. So what are the sort of the big shifts that you've seen in the industry in Sweden? How's the payroll market evolved in the Nordics? Has it been the same as you would see it in the UK and beyond? Has there been some nuances that maybe make it slightly different?
yeah, I think it could be differences in Sweden. It's a tremendous amount has changed in our profession over the past 30 years. When I began, but I think the generational shift within the industry, it created a need for proper vocational training and certification, which in turn has contributed to higher salary levels. And that was maybe at the same time as this large generational shift in the business, we had a high unemployment in Sweden. Uh, and that actually it remains still a significant problem for us. But that lack of competence in payroll was supposed to be solved by creating numerous new training programs, offering the unemployed a fast track, and a high guarantee of securing a job immediately after completing their education. But however, it turned into a failure because the challenges, as well as the necessary prior knowledge and the skills required for our profession, were not properly understood. So that was really, really a big failure in our business. So I think the number of approved training programs they was reduced. So today we have a better balance. So I now feel that those who do their internships at Amesto with us, they have entirely different conditions for sustainable development within the
I see.
profession. Yeah.
And
So
obviously, you won Global Payroll Manager in 2017. So, in your current role, you have a global payroll. Is that the norm for many of the payroll departments in Sweden? Or is you often paying employees beyond Sweden, or is it a mix where some people will just have domestic? How's the sort of makeup? Because we're in a much more of the world of globalization now, and that's shaping the way that payroll operations works. I'd be interested to get a bit of an understanding of the makeup of the average payroll function, perhaps in Sweden.
well, in Sweden, we at Amesto we have it. It's different from outsourcing to outsourcing company.
Sure.
So in Amesto, we do everything in house. We don't have any subcontractors doing. But there are other outsourcing companies in Sweden who have subcontractors
Yeah.
in other countries. But I think that there have been, in my view, both inaccurate and diminishing claims about our profession back in the days, and a bit today too, because suggesting that payroll consultants struggle with change and development. But I think this only proves a lack of understanding on the complexity of our profession, actually. So despite the availability of technical solutions, system providers have faced major challenges in streamlining payroll management. So has nothing to do with payroll consultants resisting development, I think. So I think we have to be good in our own local language. So I think it's a key to these educations. It's so important that you understand the language so that you really can understand collective agreements and support the employees. So I think that was it was a quick fix with all those unemployment that should be payroll consultants. But that was
Sure.
yeah. So that was a problem
Have
for
you
us in
seen
Sweden
technology and
actually. But
automation have a big impact on the way that you manage payroll in Sweden as well? Are everything at the moment seems to be driven by AI and and robotic process automation we've been talking about now for a few years here in the UK. How have you seen that kind of influence the payroll process from your side?
yes, absolutely. Now we have in Sweden we have a real complex because we have nearly 700 collective agreements,
Wow.
and yeah, so it's not that easy to automate to have this automation. But actually, I had I was I was I think it was 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe it was something like that. Then we had this payroll day at SRF Konsulterna, where I'm today a board member as our association for payroll consultants. And I was about to have a presentation and about the future in payroll. And actually, though it was 10 years ago, I think it would work today, the same presentation. I did it on the Game of Thrones theme, winter
Oh,
is
how fun.
coming, but I instead had the robotics are coming. so, and so now today maybe HI Copilot is coming. I don't know, but I think now people are not that afraid for the new technique. I think hopefully, I think we instead see it as a support to us
Yeah.
in our daily work. And I think actually, like I said, I think actually in the payroll, I think the payroll consultants, we have been in front. We want to do it more efficient, but the system haven't been ready to do it. So I know a lot of payroll consultants who have learned Excel really great and built their own macros and have many good ideas. So I think in Sweden we actually are maybe not any longer in the front. I think we have to move on. We have been a bit laid back, but I think this AI we need to speed up a bit. But we are in the front with digitalization. We have come far in the Nordics with digitalization. Finland
Yeah.
is absolutely before Sweden. So in the
Okay,
Nordics,
that's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think the Finnish people, they were first with the mobile Nokia as well. So
Yeah.
I think but I know that they are working a lot with HR systems, and I think
I don't know if it's infiltrated through, but I know a lot of the AI development, certainly from a cybersecurity perspective, a lot of that happens in Iceland as well. There's a lot of tech hubs in Reykjavik that are developing software. I don't know if you've seen
wow,
that kind of
no,
pass through or not. I know that's often on the European side of things, where a lot of the tech is often developed.
yeah, and I think if we just had more cooperating work together with IT system providers, payroll people, the people behind, I think we had come a lot, much more further from what we have done if we just work more together. Uh, so I think that is a problem actually, that we don't do that. So
More
yeah,
collaboration.
more
Yeah.
collaboration.
As it was I like what you said as well about it. You didn't seem fearful of it at all, which was quite refreshing because a lot of payroll professionals are a little bit fearful of AI replacing their jobs and taking over. But it
Yes.
sounds to me like your perspective is very much that the tools and AI will augment and help and support rather than replace.
Yeah.
Probably because you've got over 700 collective agreements. Maybe that's why it's a little bit more challenging. What skills do you think that payroll professionals are going to need going forward in order to
Mhm.
stay relevant and to really continue to push the profile of payroll in the future?
I think many of, I can just look at our consultants at Amesto. I can see that some are really, really, they can just stand up and speak. They are trained, but some are not. And I think the pandemic and all this hybrid work and home office work, if you already are maybe shy and not that easy to just jump on stage and then you have to train. It wasn't easy for me as well. I was nervous. I'm nervous now a bit. Every challenge that you're not nervous, but I'm not that nervous, but yeah, a bit. It's not dangerous. It's nothing can happen. I think it's much worse if you don't do anything than if you just try, give it a try.
I
And
agree.
be kind to another and help each other. But I think it's really, really important to be more social, open your eyes and speak with, take every opportunity to ask every employee who contacts you, have the question, are you satisfied? Is it anything else you need? Sample information, because everything is going so fast, and to be able to be more helpful with the developing of the payroll systems, maybe payslips, and you have to listen to people. What's important to them? Is it important to have an HI doing everything? Where should we be? Where am I important as a human being? And ask leaders, managers and board members, maybe CFOs, CEOs, what do they need? What is their headache during their working day? Maybe we can help. We have a lot of data. Maybe we can do something. So that I think yeah.
Attention payroll leaders. If you're listening to this, you already know that payroll has never been more complex. Compliance risks are rising, skilled talent is scarce, and getting it wrong can cost your business way more than just money. It can cost you trust, retention, and of course, brand reputation. I'm Nick Day, host of this show and also CEO of JGA Recruitment Group, specialist global payroll recruiters. Here at JGA, we're so passionate about payroll, we've even turned it into music. Don't believe us? Head to your favorite audio platform and search for Payroll Powers the World, and you can quite literally join us in song about how we believe payroll deserves its moment in the boardroom to shine. At JGA, we'd like to think our passion shines through to our recruitment results as well. With a 97% retention rate and an average 19-day job brief to hire success rate, we work fast, we work strategically, and we work with purpose to connect you to the hidden payroll talent that job ads and direct search methods will simply never reach. So if you're hiring or indeed planning to hire, why not partner with the experts that are shaping the future of payroll? Partner with jgarecruitment.com today, or better yet, drop me a message directly, and together we can make sure your next payroll hire is your best one yet. The kind of thing that we've been talking about on the show, for those that listen regularly already know this, but the future of payroll is going to involve a lot of collaboration. And I say it many times, go and see your other stakeholders, your CTO, your CEO, your CFO, and say, look, what are your biggest challenges? And maybe I can support them with the data that we've got at our fingertips. We have so much, which you so eloquently mentioned a moment ago. I also love the fact that you mentioned two of my most favorite mantras for me. One is just be more kind, generally, because everyone is going through something. And whether that's the employee with a financial problem where their pay is absolutely critical, or whether it's something else, just be more kind. But also potential lives on the other side of our fear. And you seem to be someone that's always lent into the fear to find out where you can go. That's how you become a CEO of a business. It's how you've become so successful. And even shows like this, maybe there was a little bit of anxiety there, but rather than say no, lent into it, and here we are talking about a profession we both love. And I think it's a really good message for people. I think a lot of people in the payroll industry can be a little bit introverted, and I think it could encourage them to say, look, there's something you really want to do, lean into it. As you said, your own words, now what's the worst that can happen? Be brave. And actually some wonderful things can happen.
Mm.
Is there any mentors in your journey, or any sort of nuggets of advice which you've received from someone that's helped you along your own path?
Oh, it's a lot of people who have helped me. I think it's a good way to never just sit and wait for anyone to come to you and help you, because no one can guess if you need my help or not, or if you find me in like an inspiration from me, like an influencer or something. I think if you see someone doing something that you feel that, oh shit, how is she just I know back in the days I had we had a manager, and I looked up to her because I could see that she had so much to do, and she was always perfect in everything from her clothes to, always on time, and she had always answering in time. So I knock on her door. Excuse me, can I ask you, how are you handling all your emails? How do you remember to answer everything? And how do you do? And she was so happy. Oh, please come and sit down. I will show you. And she showed me how she worked with Outlook. And I still use that way to work still today. And I can stand tall and say that I handle my emails. I don't think I forgot to answer, and I answer in time as well. So that,
Fantastic.
I think it just was a little small example, but so I have asked those who I look up to, how do they do?
It's good advice, because I also, again, I've said it not just on this show, but the other shows that I host as well, which is, if you get stuck in the how, you procrastinate. You often don't. It doesn't cause action. We can get lost, and it can make us freeze. I don't know how to get started as a guest on the payroll podcast. How do I approach this, Nick? And they can make us freeze. But often the best way to overcome a challenge is to ask, who do we know that can help us get there? And I
Mm,
think there's a really good opportunity there that, you didn't necessarily know how you could improve your productivity, but there was someone you knew who could help you along that journey. And I
mm,
think in the world of payroll, there are people that have been exposed to so many different aspects of payroll, whether it's global, expatriate, in-house, implementation, sales, project management, leadership.
mm,
If you want to develop any of those skills, there are people out there that can help you to do that. So rather than get stuck in the how, look at LinkedIn, look at these shows, go and contact some of the guests I've been on with me before and say, look,
mm.
I want to get here. How did you get there? And they can give you some advice to hopefully fast track that journey. Is there
Yes.
anything from your own experience and your payroll background, Anna, which has been really instrumental in relation to your leadership success? Because we can be great payrollers, doesn't always mean we're necessarily going to be great leaders. What would be your leadership advice?
Yeah. I yeah, from the leadership. Did you say because it was something with the with the
Yeah, I think,
net?
what would be your philosophy on leadership? What makes a
Hmm.
great leader from your perspective?
Yeah, yeah. My philosophy, I have trained to be a leader maybe when I was younger. I started as a leader when I was 35 years old, and maybe I was not that, I don't have any patience at all, and I didn't have any education in leadership. I just had a new hat. I'm a leader now. Okay. So I don't think I was so super nice at that time, because I learned very quickly that everyone isn't like me. We all of us works a bit different, and different is good, because the cooperation is great, and I how should I say? For me, it's important to lead with both brain and heart. And what is helpful for me is to show those who I lead. Today I'm leading managers, so that's different from who you are a leader for, of course, but on different levels. But it's always good to include everyone, so everyone knows where are their responsibilities, and that we all are moving in the same direction. So when I'm going too fast, because that is my problem, that I could going too fast sometimes,
Yeah.
then I see that someone maybe is not that happy because they haven't understand their responsibility, or where we are, where I think we are going. They are not on the same train as I am, and then we will not reach the end station together. But I think leadership today is different for me. I'm now turning 57, and I have a different way to see. I really love to see the people around me, just growing in their positions, and I really want to leave something sustainable when I move on to another place to be. So for me, it's not easy to being a leader, because and it's also different times. During the pandemic, it was
Sure.
not that funny to be a leader, and now I think we are going back to the offices, and of course it's much more fun to be a leader when you have people around you, not every day, but at least a few days in the week, so you get together and could have some fun. You have to have awesome place to work. We say at Amesto, awesome place to work and awesome place to grow. And I think um, it is important that we meet together, and have fun together.
For sure. It sounds like you've been on quite a learning journey yourself then. You've been
Mm,
of, I mean, inclusivity, collaboration, the ability to communicate. As you said, I think moving too fast as a CEO is probably a common CEO problem or challenge, because often the thought process is often CEOs are in those positions because of the way they think and their ability to enact. But of course, we've got to take our teams with us. And that
mm,
involves that inclusivity and that collaboration piece that obviously you've learned along the way, which is fantastic. So
yeah.
obviously for yourself, you're an outsourcing business. You've come through the ranks in a transactional payroll professional that now is now operating at a strategic level. How do you find the time, or have you been able to balance? Probably is a better question. The strategic and the operational aspects of
Mm.
a payroll focused organization.
Well, I think that's the strength I have to plan everything, to have a good structure with whatever uh, I'm doing, because I'm so curious. I want to do so many things that I want to have time to do in my life. So. I, like so as soon as I learn something new and it becomes a routine, I want to move on. So I think I have a good help from my motto is this Einstein, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not
Nice.
simpler. Yeah, that's my motto, and have always been, because I, I I always strive to simplificate things, so strive for simplification, but not at the cost of skipping steps or losing quality. So from what I do is that I dive into everything, and that could people have, maybe they could ask, so, oh, don't you have trust in me? Yes, I have, but I just want to understand, because then I have trust, I know I have control, and then I can also help to simplify and do the things faster. So and I think with that mindset, you can put in pretty lot new things. You can because if you do just a quick fix, you will stand there and have it, back in your
Yeah.
face. Yeah. So so I think that is helpful. So besides the work, I mean, I have a family with two grown-up children. I have a grandchild. I have earlier I had two horses, and
Oh,
that's really time. No, they take a lot of time. I don't have horses now, and I'm happy for that. But I love them and think they are beautiful animals. But we have a motorboat. We love to be out in the archipelago, and we have a cottage, a small house where we go and just go in the forest and
lovely.
breathe. And I think it's great to just and plan this as well, and also physical training. I started with material arts, so so
Wow.
and that's
But I think
also
I chose the
very
right word with the word balance.
yeah,
Sounds
yeah,
like you've got good balance, good
yeah,
work-life balance, strategic and operational balance as well, which is of course so important and so easy to get out of balance, and that's when things start to fall down. As
mm,
you mentioned, if we go too fast, sometimes we have to do things twice because the
yes,
quality isn't there. So
yes,
it's going
exactly.
fast enough, but not so fast where quality suffers, which I think makes sense.
Mm.
I'd love to get your view on the future of the industry, both the challenges and hopefully the opportunities. So let's start with the challenges. What do you think are the most pressing challenges that are probably facing the payroll industry at the moment?
Mm. I think that's at the payroll industry. I think all these different collective agreements, all these different process we are doing. I think that will be a hard one to solve actually, and I wonder if maybe we don't will have all these 700 collective agreements in the future. I think we need to sample, maybe do some. I mean, there are common rules, so it, it should be a really great project to try to maybe do a fresh up.
And you
Uh,
believe it's possible?
Everything is possible, I
Everything
think.
is possible. If you had a magic wand, would that
Yeah.
be the thing that you would change at the moment in terms of just simplifying that level of challenge?
Well, I think it happens so many things in the world for the moment. So actually, I wonder if all these 700 different work will they even will we even have them in the future?
Mm.
So maybe we can do something now when it happens so a lot of different things. Maybe take the opportunity to simplify this. I think that's old school to have these different collective agreements because that's a really challenge, and I think many times we don't do it correctly. It isn't correctly done, and we work a lot with that. When you outsource, we are responsible, and we have to dive into and we investigate how is it done before, and we find out that maybe it's incorrectly done. So why don't take the opportunity to simplify this so it's easier to handle it correctly, and we can spend our time to other things like
Sounds like it makes sense.
yes.
But one thing I heard, which surprised me, because not being based in Sweden, I mean based in the UK, you sometimes see things only from one view, and that's the UK view, if you like, or even the US. Is that I was surprised to hear that pay on demand isn't as widely adopted in other locations in Europe as it perhaps is seen in the UK or the US, where in the UK everyone's talking about pay on demand. We're trying to implement solutions to
Mhm.
deliver pay on demand service. Are you seeing a similar trait in Sweden, or is this really not something, maybe because of all the collective agreements, makes it too complicated to introduce? Do you see that impact in the space in the near future?
We don't this payroll on demand have the it's nothing that I have heard
Not a thing.
anyone
Yeah.
use in Sweden, and I think it could be that even if we are small countries in the Nordics, we have big differences between the countries, but similar is that we have very good structure with when you got paid and when you should pay your bills. And if you don't pay your bills in time, it will be, it would go to the statutory
Yeah.
that could, yeah, you can deduct from your salary. So we have a good system for this. So I think pay on demand is a little bit not what we are used to. We want to have people to, to hold in their salary and to save money, not to just sit in a bar and
Sure.
I,
Yeah.
uh,
It makes sense.
another beer.
Well, what's the
Mm.
biggest opportunity then, do you think? You mentioned some of the biggest challenges is those collective agreements that could certainly be simplified. Is there a major opportunity that makes you excited about the future of payroll at the moment?
Uh, on the payroll on demand, or did you say
No, no,
to
just payroll generally, not necessarily payroll on
on the
demand.
payroll?
Anything you like. Yes. What excites you about the future of payroll?
I'm excited because I think there are a big opportunity to have maybe a new position, like someone who are expert in a special how should I say um, I think it's an opportunity for the one who can be like a business partner to the client, not the payroll consultant, or not an HR consultant, maybe a totally new position. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, where you can be more like a personal personal person for your employees, maybe to help them with their career and with career plan and salary and things that is related to an employee. So they have like a personal trainer or something at the company. That
that's a nice
yeah,
idea. It's like a payroll
yes.
personal business partner. Of course, we have that in the world of HR. You have HR business partners, which are very common, but we don't have that in payroll. So
No,
maybe there
yeah.
is an opportunity for that for sure.
Because then we struggle with competence, lack of competence in many businesses. So maybe that could be a good thing to have on board. Someone that really listen to the employee and have some kind of value for each employee, and to understand the payroll, understand your personal economy, like and pensions and everything around a person, because it's not just payroll, it's pensions, it's
Yeah.
sick leave, it's everything. um, Maybe in the sustainability reporting, maybe that will lead to that we will come so far so we can have this kind of person.
I definitely get a sense you have a real passion for sustainability, which really comes through during today's
Mm.
conversation. So, I guess my last question before we open the vault then is this: what do you think Poe will look like in 2030?
Wow, in 2030, I think, well, it's actually soon because it's only
Soon?
5 years. Yeah, and
Yeah.
5 years, but it happens a lot in 5 years. We know that for sure. But I think, hopefully, we will use Copilot as our daily, our colleague.
Yeah.
It's my best colleague actually for the moment. And spend our time to be more, that we have come so far that we have learned much more around not just payroll. We have learned a lot more about HR. I think our position have changed quite a lot.
I agree. There's a lot
Yeah.
more around employee experience now as well,
It's
isn't there? It's
hard
not
to
just
answer.
calculation.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's hard to answer that. But I think maybe the profile of those who are working with payroll have changed also, because we will need different skills. Um,
As you say, like personal payroll business partners. Maybe they'll
Mm.
be there in 5 years. Having
Yeah,
that employee experience payroll professionals that are fully immersed in, as you say, that employee experience piece, that employee well-being and caring for them beyond just the payslip, but into
yeah.
pensions and well-being and other things that they can do for sure. Why not? That'd be
Mhm.
great. That'd be
Mm.
great. That'd be a good thing. And I think we've started to see that needle move already because 5 years ago we weren't talking about payroll and employee experience in the same sentence, and now
No.
it's very, very relevant. So
Mm.
let's open the payroll vault. So I've got three short, sharp questions for you.
Yeah.
My first is this: what's one piece of advice you would give to payroll professionals working in the profession right now?
Be brave, of course, that we already have. Be brave and stand tall. You know a lot of things, so just start ask every employee, every person who contact you. Start asking questions. What can I do for you? How is it anything you need that I can help you with? Um, Please tell me.
Love
So
that.
so
Be more curious, be more collaborative, absolutely ask more questions, be brave. Love that. Be
mm,
brave. And absolutely that served you very well as well, let's be fair. So if anyone else wants to become a CEO of a big payroll outsourcing business, you need to be brave, just like Anna was.
yeah.
Absolutely right. So a visionary question then, and we've kind of tackled upon this a little bit already in the show, but if you could make one change to the current payroll profession or maybe one improvement, what would that action, change or improvement be?
Sorry, could you say that again?
I think you may have already answered it anyway in simplifying the collective agreement. So there's an opportunity maybe to give a different response. But if you could change the entire payroll industry with one action or improvement, what would the action or improvement be?
Much more collaboration with with the leader management in the business. Always include someone from the payroll department, because it's like a spider in the net. We have data, we have knowledge, so much knowledge that aren't used. So
Yeah. I love that spider in the net. I'm going to remember that and reuse it on another show. You'll hear it here. Anna said
okay.
it first. It's like a spider in the net. And the last bit, and I don't know, you're in Sweden, maybe the movies and songs are different, but I always ask my guests if payroll was a song, a movie, or a book, what song, movie, or book would resonate most with you?
Oh, that was not an easy question. If payroll was, I mean, you have two really great music
The songs.
songs on Spotify. Um, well, oh, is it Money, 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 ABBA? Of
Yeah,
course.
that's a great response. We've had it before as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, I feel bad now because I don't think I included Sweden in my lyrics for the latest song. I should have put Sweden in there and swapped it out
I
maybe.
don't know.
Prepped it for this show.
Do you know Magnus Uggla? I don't know if you know him, but
I
he's a
don't.
famous Swedish singer, and he has this. Uh, it's a lovely payroll. It's like the king in the bar, the 20.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
you have
really.
to share it with me. Share me
I,
the link. Maybe I'll include it in the show notes for sure.
yes,
We'll
because
have to start collaborating with all the different payroll songs that we know across the globe and pull them into one album. That would be fun. But Anna, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think today we've delved into the evolution of the payroll profession. You've talked wonderfully about how you've moved from receptionist many years ago into the world of, becoming a CEO of a payroll outsourcing company, which is amazing. We've
Mm.
explored future trends. We've discussed leadership insights, addressed industry challenges, 700 plus collective agreements, which, we think we could probably simplify. And of course, the future of payroll as well, which may well be around partnering with employees, partnering with business leaders to really elevate the profession. So thank you ever so much for joining me today, particularly because, of course, English is not your first language. So you've navigated that fantastically well. I will, of course, put links in the show notes for those that want to connect with Anna. I will put the LinkedIn profile in there. You can find Anna Hammarkvist as a LinkedIn profile, but also a link to the website for Amesto as well if you want to find out more about those services. But just want to say one final thank you to Anna Hammarkvist for joining me today on the Payroll Podcast. I've really enjoyed having my first ever guest from the Nordics join me on the show. So thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Nick. It was a pleasure to be here.
And global teams are more connected today than ever. But managing payroll, HR, and IT can still feel fragmented. But Deel simplifies global work with one platform that keeps everything running smoothly. No compliance guesswork, no third-party payroll, just seamless operations backed by 24/7 expert support. That's why over 35,000 companies trust Deel to handle their global workforce. Visit deel.com/nickday to see how Deel can help. That's DEEL.com/NICKDAY. Deel, your forever people platform.